So, you've got an idea for a business, the store of your dreams. There's just one thing to figure out: everything. That's why Shopify's all-in-one commerce platform makes it easy to sell online, in person, and everywhere else. Sell on social media, source products with an app to get that first sale feeling. It's the only solution that gives you everything you need to sell everywhere you want. So when you're ready to bring your idea to life, power it up with Shopify.
Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/listen.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, this is Hardcore Grind interview with the fabulous author extraordinaire Untamed. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing good. Now, let me know what you've been cooking in your creative kitchen since the last time we spoke.
Oh my goodness, it is so much. It is so much going on in my creative kitchen right now. I am currently working on the View 3, which, it's supposed to be out already, but, y'all have to forgive me. I have a lot going on. I am working on that. I also just released the final book of my Never Again No More series, which is part 6. That released in June. I'm excited about that. I am currently working on finalizing getting the audio book up for part 2 of The View, which will feature Jacoby DM. Also, it's going to feature, oh my gosh, I forgot his name. That's so sad. I have 2 different audio narrators in there. So we'll have, but Jacoby is the one I was excited about the most because I've been wanting to work with him forever. But you guys will be able to get that. Other than that, as far as writing, I definitely have some other works coming out. But I'm running up some other pseudos, doing some other things. So I can't wait for y'all to see it. But I can't reveal some of it to you guys just because it's a different pseudo. But trust me, I have so many writing projects that are coming out. And also, I'll be starting my spinoff series from the Never Again No More in 2023. So just be on the lookout for all of that.
Now, you got all these book creation going on. Do we hear any movies, any screenwriting? What you got going on there?
Sure, absolutely. So we just, I'm also a producer and a screenwriter, and we just finished production for a movie entitled, I was about to Never Again No More. I still stuck on my book, No Better Love. And that is actually written by Eric S. Gray. It's his movie, and I'm excited about it. It's a coming-of-age cautionary tale type of story. Hopefully that will be coming out. If we're able to get the date, it should be premiering before the end of this summer. Also, we have the movie Trap Soldiers, which we wrapped last year. That should be coming out this summer as well. And we are about to go into pre-production for 3 more films. So I am really, really busy in that regard.
And now when you say we, you got to be specific. Who is we?
We is Boss Magnet Media. That's where I'm a part of this production team. It is headed by Untamed, who is the owner of Boss Magnet Media. So I'm excited about it always. This is what, this is part of the dream, part of the life, part of things that, we pray for, try to manifest, and it is really coming to fruition, but we definitely are on the roll with that. So you will see many, many more film projects, book to film projects that are coming out into fruition through that company. And that keeps me bogged down a lot. So that's the reason why the V3 isn't here quite yet.
Oh, wow. Well, you got a lot going on. Now, I'm going to ask this question first because you have so much going on and you wear so many different hats, director, author. You got a lot going on. How do you balance everything? Where does that balance come from for you?
I am still trying to figure it out. I feel like I was born with multiple arms and heads or something because it's a rotation. But I try to stick to a schedule as much as possible. And the way that schedule looks changes with more that gets added on. So nowadays I try to commit to a couple of branches a day. So if I need to write, it's the weekend. I try to keep that for the weekend only, and then work, with movie things, with podcasting, because I'm also a podcaster as well throughout the week. And I have my own company where I do publishing services. So I kind of keep it balanced in that way, but a whole lot of prayer, because at any given moment I may have to switch up and do something else different that I didn't plan, and that's like as always. I'm also a mom, I'm also a wife, so I have my personal life too, and I just am really grateful that I have the type of children, that type of husband who are just really supportive and understanding of my crazy schedule.
I love it. And I do want to say I saw Bid for Love. That was really good. It was really good.
Yes, thank you so much. So listen, for that one, my entire sister producer, her and Eric actually co-wrote the script together, and I was really more, I was outside of that. I was more like their support system through that movie, just kind of making sure that everything flowed with the script. But just to be able to see her and Eric and the director, Arthur Muhammad, who I've worked with several times, be able to bring that movie to light. A lot of the actors who we either worked with in Trap Soldiers or ended up working with in other projects, whether it was Gutter Mommies or No Better Love, or even some of the other extended projects that we've had to kind of dabble in. To see a lot of them come in on this, it was just an amazing. I was so proud of that project. I just was like, oh my gosh, I could not believe it. And it's on BT Plus, BT Her. I'm so excited because it just lends to the fact that the hard work is out there is showing, and everyone is just growing in their independent, realms within this industry. And I love the story of Awana Patterson because it's based off of her, her story. And she went out there and she grinded for what she wanted to get the story told. And it was very beautiful. And it's Black excellence all day for me.
I love it. Now, what can we expect from No Better Love? What we looking at? I'm excited. He cute.
Yeah. So, No Better Love, and let me just tell you, Eric is a phenomenal storyteller. He's a phenomenal person, first and foremost. He knows. I talk to him all the time. Listen, every time I talk to him, I feel like I can go ahead and conquer the world. He's that type of encourager, and he is on his grind. So I have to first say that, he is one of the best people you will ever want to meet and work with. Absolutely. So his movie is about a young lady who's 18. She is an artist, but she's gone through some tough times in her life at her young age. And she's at a crossroads where she's into this lifestyle that's not conducive to her future. And she has to make a decision. She has to make a decision on what's best. And sometimes you get to the decision you make through ill-advised consequences of some of your previous decisions. So it is going to be a dynamic story. And like I said, it is truly a cautionary tale for young women. So I would love for, like women 18 to mid to late 20s to really embrace the story. But anybody can, because we've been there. We've been young. We've been, in love or making decisions that's not quite, fit for us as we move into the future, and how we have to bounce back from that and learn how to love ourselves and learn how to put ourselves first and do what's best for us. And so you'll get all of that through No Better Love, and I cannot wait. The star of that movie is Diamond Simmons James. She was a phenomenal actress. She really, truly brings it. All of our cast was they're so awesome to work with. Shout out to all of them, AJ, Tyrone, Cornelius, Alexandria. They were so amazing to work with. And also we have, in that movie, we have our main stars who were they truly worked hard. They embodied their roles, which is we have Dennis Ellis White, who plays the school teacher in it. He played in the movie Notorious, the B.I.G. movie Notorious, and as Biggie's best friend. And he also plays on the Clyde Evans series. Family Business. Thank you. Help me out, girl. I was thinking Family Business. He played on that series as well. And we also have Carly Red, who everyone may remember from Love and Hip Hop. She plays the principal in the movie, and she just embodied that role so good. Like, it was amazing to see. So cast, crew, everybody was dynamic. I cannot wait for you guys to see it.
I love it. Now, we always talk about a go moment, and a go moment is when thought and execution come together. A lot of times, especially as women, we put a lot of things ahead of ourselves where it's not time, I can't do this, but there are things that are really downloaded into our spirit for us to birth out and move around and do. What was your go moment like? You've had a few. What was your go moment like when you decided to sit down and say, I'm about to write this book?
My go moment, I always tell everyone, it is embedded in me, like you said, like I knew it. I've been tinkering around with whether or not I wanted to pursue writing professionally, just published, because it's always been a hobby. It's been personal to me, and it was, something I didn't want to share. But I just kept getting this inkling that I needed to do more, and I didn't know if it was just, sometimes I second guess myself, as everyone does, like, are you crazy? Why do you want to all of a sudden want to do this? So my go-to, because I always say I'm really stubborn, and I tell the Lord all the time, in order for me to listen to you, you know your child. You got to spell it out. You got to let me know. I'm not going to take the hint. You got to just let me know. So I will never forget it. I literally asked God, if you want me to be a published author, you got to send me a direct sign. Let me know something. So Tyler Perry was accepting the award. I believe it was on BET. I wasn't even watching the award show. I just happened to be walking through the living room. My husband was watching it. He was doing his acceptance speech, and he said, when you're meant to do something, when you try to leave it alone, but it won't leave you alone. That's all I heard. I turned to my husband and I said, I'm going to be a published author. And he said, okay. And that night I started writing on what would become Never Again No More.
Okay, husband, that's right. A lot of times, and don't send us no emails because I'm about to say this, but a lot of times, men don't have a vision for themselves. So when they have a woman that has a vision, they're not really as supportive. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to have a man that is like, what you want to do, where you want to go, how you want to do this, is like the best thing in the world. So, okay, husband, we giving your husband 50 million claps, because yes, back your boo up.
I know that's right, and I do, and it has, And it is adjustment period. I tell everybody all the time, like he's always supportive, but I've had to come, several times and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and, talk to him and we work it out and we talk it out. That's important too, because a lot of times as creators, we just kind of jump into things sometimes and we just go, and we have to remember, especially if you have a spouse, a significant other, like you got to bring them into the fold and, keep them abreast because they have to make adjustments within their lives as well. And we're really good about that. And I've always tried to do that, to say, hey, listen, this is what I want to do. And, because I know, it has an adjustment. We have children, we have to make sure that home is taken care of. So communication is always big, and I'm always willing to sit here and say, okay, what do I need to, pull back from if I want to do this or if I need to do this? What can I pull back from so that all of the stress and the pressure isn't just on my husband and my kids at times? So sometimes I will, fall back and take breaks from certain things just to make sure that my household is taken care of and that I'm also giving as much as I get from them, because
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, they need me too. So I try to be the best, wife and mom and not spread myself too thin so that they can also get to enjoy being with me. So I do that as well. But anytime and anything I have ever wanted to do, I have to give it to him. He has always been willing to make whatever sacrifices need to be made so that I can live this dream. And so for that, I am eternally grateful for the man that God has blessed me with.
Okay. Now, what drives Untamed? Where does your drive come from?
I think my drive comes from just wanting to, life is short, wanting to live and do everything I have set out to do. I actually had this conversation. It was impromptu, as I wasn't planning on having it. But I will never forget that one time when my mother was living, and I was in middle school when she said this to me. She went into, we were having a conversation. And you know how this conversation goes. You kind of just veer from one thing to the next. And she says, she was a phenomenal nurse. My kids always say, if you weren't doing what you're doing, you should have went into the medical field because you know how to doctor on people. I said, well, I did that for my mom, And I said, she says to me, I always wanted to go into the Air Force and be a nurse in the Air Force because she wanted to live on the West Coast. Like, my mom was raised in the country town, and she had these big city dreams, you know what I mean? She wanted to live on the West Coast by the ocean and be a nurse in the Air Force. And I said, well, why did you? And she said, well, my dad didn't believe women should go in the military, and I didn't want to disobey him. But the thing that stuck out to me the most was that my mom was a grown woman with a teenage daughter, and she was still talking about this dream that she never got to fulfill. And that always stuck with me. And I said, I would never do that. As much as I love my mom, I was like, yeah, even if it was something that she didn't want me to do with my life, I'd be like, listen, I got to do it. If this is what I want to do, I got to do it. Either I'm going to sink or swim, because in my head, that was something that she always wanted to do. She never got an opportunity to do it. And that's what drives me. Like, we get one life, we get one chance to do everything that we can imagine. And so you should just go for it and do it. Whether you sink or swim, pass or fail, at least you can say you did it,
Absolutely. And that's really important, because, as they say, our fathers are our first example of true love, and our mothers are examples of women that we want to be. And so when we see that, it's a way of also paying homage to your mom and saying, listen, Ma, I see you, and I'm making sure that every time you see me moving, you got a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You are smiling because you see me doing all of these things, which is going to warm your heart in the process. And so I love that. Now, you are also part of Intellectual Inc. Tell us a little bit about that. You've been doing some everything, child. Let us know what's going on with that.
I've been doing some everything, y'all. So, listen, I will be remiss if I do not mention my Intellectual Inc. family. Julia Preston is a wonderful, wonderful lady. Allison Grace is also a part of that. Charlotte Young Fourier is, also one of the managing editors for Intellectual Ink magazine. And I am the event columnist. What I do for the magazine is basically I cover the events for all of the Black book fairs and the Black events. Like, I want to expand on it to include other aspects of events that happen within our community. So far, though, I have been covering the different book fairs, book events, expos that happen, just highlighting them so they'll have a place where they can shine and people can learn more, authors can learn more, book clubs can learn more, bloggers, places where we have events, because sometimes we just kind of assume that everyone knows, and you don't realize that there's a lot of authors, bloggers, and book clubs that don't know about different events. And so I love that this highlights us and what we're doing in the literary community in such a positive and special way. And these book clubs and that host these book events and these book fairs get a chance to, get highlighted and be in magazines and have the pictures from their event shown, and people learn more about them. So that is my small role, but big role within the Intellectual Ink family. I'm so grateful for Julia for the opportunity. And you guys, last year they won, Literary Magazine of the Year. So they're doing something right. They're doing something right.
I love it. Now, if you could change anything in the literary industry, what would it be and why?
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Oh, my goodness. I think I would change. How can I say this? Let me say it like this. I think I would change a lot of I'll say the access to information. Because one thing that I can honestly say is that there is a lot of information about being published and, the publishing industry, the literary industry, and it's a lot of misinformation. And right now, with a lot of people, social media is life, and they pick up somebody's post or what somebody said, and they take it as law, and it could be just the most incorrect thing that's out there right now. So because of that, you have a lot of people who have misconceptions on what the business aspect of publishing. They have an incorrect mindset of the creativity and the things that go into making books and in writing books and how that's supposed to go. And the right knowledge is out there, but it's spread out amongst so much incorrect information. And then you have so many people who are only experts of a thing, but they want to say that they're experts of everything that's going on. And that's almost virtually impossible because things change all the time in this industry as it does in any other industry. So you're constantly learning and growing. But I would change that because I really feel like, it does disservice to the authors who really want to go into this as a career where they don't know where to start. They don't know who to go to. They don't know what the right information is from the wrong information. And they're just kind of going into it blind and trying to get their feet wet and feeling their way through and learning by mistake instead of having somewhere to go where they can actually learn what's right, what to do, and cultivate and grow from there. Because most of the authors, especially indie authors or hybrid authors, they learn by trial and error and mistake after mistake versus, hey, if I knew what I was supposed to do, I could have just started there.
That's right. But everything, I think that a lot of people new to the industry want a mentor. And I always tell people, you don't need a mentor. You look at the blueprint of those things around you. Everybody you see around you, how they move around, that is your blueprint. To see how to move in this industry is very important. When you go to a book event, watch how those people who are already there that's been doing it, because you want to learn. You want to learn, and you take what works for you and you leave the rest. But you always use what's around you. That's why you have to be careful about the type of energy you have around you and the type of people that you have around you. Everybody got to be doing what they want to do in life and be the best person that they can be for themselves, and especially as women, a black woman that can write is powerful. We powerful just in general, but that is a powerful skill to have. Now, what does that power mean to you?
That freedom, the freedom to be and do what you want to do, and to grow and be the person you need and want to be. Like we just don't understand. Like you said, that is such power in the written word, especially from a black woman. Like, we have the power to change lives, mindsets. If we could just tap into it and cultivate, we are already these dynamic people. We're life changers. We're world changers. We're game changers. So it's the freedom, really, to just be the driving force that we know that we can be in this world. So absolutely. And then we always take what we do and we multiply it. You know what I mean? So it's like you always see with black women, it's like if you start off being an author, or wherever you started, you're always building on it and building on that mindset and doing things that change your life and change other black women's lives. It's that type of power that garners that type of freedom to be able to do that. And, that's one of my aims as well. I love the fact that in the things that I've done, I've been able to highlight other people, other women, bring other women into roles and positions that they might not have even considered before, but they do it now. It's like, you know what, I love this. And so, or providing them that opportunity that they might not have had before or didn't get a chance to really explore. So, absolutely, I love it. I love where this writing career has taken me, and I look forward to where it's going to take me.
Absolutely. Now, what do you admire the most about your pen?
What I love the most about my pen is I have always, and this is funny to me. Sometimes when you're going through, process of growing, and I've always looked at people who, they like these beautiful settings and stuff, and I was like, oh, I want to write all flowers like this, and I need to, and then, but you know what? I've learned to embrace who I am to my core. I'm a character-driven person, right? I love my people. I can't put pen to paper unless I know who my characters are, what they're going to be like. I am character-driven, so I have learned to embrace that, and I love it now. My characters, I hate to admit it. I always say it all the time. I'm always forever fussing with them. They run me. My characters run me. I do such a good job of building their world and who they are and their personalities, and that is just one thing that people have gravitated to me about, is just that they fall in love with these people that I create. And so I've learned to just embrace it, and that's who I am. I'm character-focused, character-driven. That's what I love the most about my pen.
Absolutely. Now, budding authors face many challenges, and that can be overwhelming and at times complex for them to handle when they first come into the industry. Other than what we previously talked about, what advice would you give to encourage new authors or new people that want to go into writing scripts and movies?
I will always, and I stand on this all the time, so it's kind of an extension of what I was saying earlier, is to study your craft. I cannot tell you how important it is to study it, to practice it continually. you should not, if you publish a book, even if you write a book without publishing it, if you wrote a book the beginning of this year and you've written, let's just say you've written 3, your writing should be different by book 3 than it was in book 1, because you should always grow with every book that you write. I look back on some of my stuff that I wrote before and I cringe, but I appreciate it because I had to start somewhere and I had to grow from somewhere. And it's a good measure for me to look back and see what I've grown in, what I still need to grow into. And I look forward to that. And so I tell everybody, if you want to get into this industry, take it seriously. Study your craft. Study it and practice it. That is just, that is a hill I stand on all the time, simply because I have a passion for the craft. And I think people do it a disservice when they don't appreciate or show that passion or have that passion for the craft, because that's exactly what it is. And you have to. It's just like with anything else that you would go into. If you were into music, or if you were into art, if you are actor, actress, or a film director, or you arts and crafts, you don't get into it to say the same. You grow, you learn, but you do that through study and you do it through practice. And so that is always what I tell any author, even seasoned authors. We still have to grow, we have to study, we have to practice, and you have to evolve. So definitely that is my number one piece of advice.
I love it. I love it. You got movies, you got magazines, you got books, but a lot of people don't know you also have a podcast. Tell us about Get Caught Up.
Yes, I have a podcast called the Get Caught Up Podcast. I absolutely love this podcast that I have going on. We have, this is our 3rd year, and what it is geared towards authors and people in the industry, because I have actually interviewed like bloggers, and I've interviewed voiceover actors, I've interviewed graphic designers as well. So it is for others in the literary industry, but primarily for authors. And I always try to, especially with newer authors, give them a platform and a place where they can grow, and expand. But we do interviews now every other week for the authors. I do one interview every other week with my co-host, Books and Soul. And we basically just, whatever book is the book that's come out, the newest book for the author, we will get on there, we discuss the author's life and their journey in publishing and the literary industry, and we give them opportunity to talk about their book. Also, if they like to read their book, they can. Once a month, we do a Book of the Month discussion over books. We just finished interviewing Sheree Lewis the other day, Wednesday, on IG Live, where we discussed her book On the Run. We take that one book, we read it, and we get on there and we have a good time with authors, breaking down their story, dragging their characters through mud with them on the line so they can explain to us about these crazy characters that they be writing about and these crazy situations and scenarios that go on in these books. But I have so much fun doing that with Books and Soul. Also, Books and Soul is the only exclusive host for what we call #Writer Wednesdays. It's her segment. It's about 15, 20 minutes every Wednesday at 1 p.m. She hosts a segment where she gives tips on the literary industry, over anything that you could think of. She's gone over how to even start your own podcast, blogging, different tips for authors. Once a month, at the beginning of the month, she goes in and she's very diligent about it. She does a whole show announcing all of the new releases in our Black literary community, and she'll tell the author, tell the title, and read the synopsis so that you can get interested in it. So we have a lot of fun. I used to have a segment on there called Socially Conscious Corner, but that was one of the things I told you I had to pull back from. That was my compromise to pull back from. But people have been wanting it. So I'm looking at next year, re-implementing the Social Conscious Corner, because that is something I'm also passionate about, is us in the community as well. Outside of the literary community, just us as Black people and what's going on with us in today's society. And I typically try to relate it back, give you guys some good reading material to read that relates to the topic that we have at hand. So we've covered, like top leading stories, which was something about domestic abuse, or someone who was killed on the police brutality, things like that. We typically cover that. And so I'm looking towards season 4 to re-implement that, because people have stated that they missed it. They like for that to come back. And I miss it too. It's really an important part of me, because that is another factor of who I am. I'm the child of several civil rights activists, so the grandchild, the child, and just I'm the next generation of that. So that has been embedded in me all of my life, and so it's also a very sweet part of me as well.
I love it. And then through all of that, you are still an influencer. Let's talk TikTok, honey, because you have taken TikTok by storm, girl. Let's talk about it. When you started your TikTok, when you did your first post, what was that moment like for you?
Listen, I know what I was doing when I did it. And I did my first post. I have no clue what I was doing. This is the most hilarious thing in the world. People told me to get on TikTok for years, and I refused. I was like, I have Facebook, I have Twitter, I have Instagram, and a lot of people don't even realize, because I'm non-existent now on Twitter, which is amazing to me, because even though I still have it, I'm rarely on there. But to be honest, Twitter is where I first started growing my author brand. I kid you not, for whatever reason, I was Team Twitter from at the very beginning of my career for a very long time, and then I think Instagram kind of took over my little heart, and so I became on IG, just personal IG all the time. So I was just like, I got 30 social medias. I'm not jumping on any more social medias. And so somebody said, listen, the book community on TikTok is growing. I think it was Diane from Diamond's Literary Ball who told me, listen, there is a huge book community on TikTok. And that was all she needed to say. I was like, y'all should have led with this. So I was just, my kids have TikTok. All I see is them doing dance videos all the time. So I wasn't worried about doing on TikTok. So I'm not trying to get up on there and dance. And so I got on TikTok because of that. And I think my first video was, because I do them all the time on Instagram, was like a mashup with one of the songs where the Flip the Switch challenge. And I just kind of reposted that on there because I didn't know what else to do. And it got like a few hundred views. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then I started asking kind of questions because, how does this really work? It seems fun. And it just kind of took off from there. So I'm on there all the time doing skits and posting, funny videos that I create and promoting myself. But TikTok has finally found its way to my heart, and I love it. And for whatever reason, some kind of way, I kind of, my TikToks blow up from time to time, and I just say thank y'all. But y'all, they must think I'm a little crazy, a little funny. So, but I love it. I said TikTok has really opened my mind to new things, and I love the TikTok community, especially the book TikTok community over there. I have such a good time. I have a good time. I couldn't even imagine I haven't enjoyed myself this much on that platform, but I do.
I love it. Now, what's next? What's next? You got movies flowing. I mean, what is next in your vision? I mean, you do everything. What's next? What can we expect coming through?
Oh, my goodness. So more movies, of course, as I stated. I still have other books. I do have other things coming out. I'm a ghostwriter, so I can't tell what those are, but I can't wait to see y'all pick it up and read it because I will know when you do. I know from the author we do. So I will see that. I'll be really happy to see that. A few of my ghost written projects will be releasing in 2023. So I'm very proud of that for those authors as well. I'm excited for their journey as they lead into the literary industry. So that is very much something that's special to me in my heart. And I have also another book with Untamed, also Love, that she and I co-wrote together that will be released in 2023. As of right now, I am just growing. I want to grow my podcast, and like I said, continue to put out great content for you guys through book and film. So that is where I'm at, and I am. One day, you guys will see my own screenplay. I'm actively working on that, but I just want to get it to where it needs to be and get that script in front of the right people that it needs to get to, so that I can put on the type of production that I need to bring that story to life. But I cannot wait. I am excited about everything that is going on, and I plan on continuing to work. I had no choice because we have a lot coming down the pipe.
I love it. Well, I so appreciate you coming on, sharing your time, space, and energy with me. I appreciate you so very much.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate you for having me and bringing me on. You know, it's vitally important to me to support others because I get that support, and I always want to be the type that returns it back. And you get out, you know, in this world what you put into it. So I have to support my sisters in the literary industry. I feel like every one of us are just a link in a chain to help build up this realm, this world. We don't always get these opportunities in other spaces. So I absolutely 1,000% support supporting our spaces because, you know, we've always had to lean on each other, and that shouldn't change, and we should always build each other up. And so that's what I love to see, and that's what I love to do. So I thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.